Well, good morning, everyone. My goodness sakes, a little techno difficulty there. Happy Monday. I'm Dr. Laurie Davis, host of the Today Show, and my co host, Virginia Clark. Good morning, Virginia.
Good morning, Dr. Laurie. How are you today?
Well, I was doing great, but I think they upgraded the system and my buttons are all in a different place. And I've got gold on here instead of pink. And oh my goodness. But anyway, that won't change a thing, will
No, no. We are gold, baby. We're gold, baby.
it? We're gold. I guess that's why that's there. So we're just
Right?
going to do off
Absolutely.
color.
Mhm.
Off color.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful weather here in
Oh,
Alberta. We were so
wasn't
lucky.
it?
Yes. Yeah, very grateful. Yeah, enjoy the fall colors and leaves and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was
love
beautiful.
fall. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
my
it's
favorite
beautiful
season.
though. It's nature's way of teaching us that it's okay to let go.
There we go. And
Yeah,
rest.
that's right. Yeah.
Wow, never
Drop
thought
all
about
those things you don't need and just
that.
chill out. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
There were quite a few posts on Facebook this weekend about that decluttering, what to get rid of.
Mhm.
If you've got old magazines, throw them out, plants that are dying, get rid of them, clothes that don't fit
Right?
or you're tired of and you don't want to wear anymore. Yeah, it was all about that, and I thought,
Mhm.
that's a good thing, and fall is a very good time to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
get rid of everything that you don't need that's not serving you, in any way, shape, or form.
Does
Yeah.
that include my cousin Jane?
Well, there are ways to go about that.
Yes, okay, okay. Yeah, well, Monday, we're always about empowering,
Mhm.
building confidence, giving people some tools for their toolkit.
Mhm.
So today we have a slideshow today. And I love, we'll just take the show time to present it. And as I put the slide up, you and I will be visually available there, and people can put comments up and we can post those just the same. So this is a slideshow because all about the importance of reclaiming
Yeah.
our self-worth. And we
Yes.
actually have a workshop called Reclaiming My Self-Worth and why that's so important
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
and critical for our survival. I used to do a workshop years ago. This was before we had too many, and it was called Self-Esteem, a Matter of Life or Death,
Mm. Yes.
years ago.
Yeah.
And I probably didn't even know what I was talking about back then, but I knew there was something in there, right?
Yeah, something was needed.
Yes, it wasn't clear like it is today, but definitely for sure it's important.
Yes.
So, anything we need to announce or no, I think we're good.
I
We're
think we're
good.
good. Mhm.
We were going to have a big event. I should mention this
Yes.
on November 2nd and 3rd. It's just been postponed. We
Mhm.
had to change the location. So we've rebooked it for April
5th and
6th, 5th and
5th
6th.
and 6th. Yeah, this
And
Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
yeah, and location to be announced. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing.
Mhm.
And we're cooking right along, winding up 2024. And
Crazy.
I already have my 2025 calendar, the big calendar up
Yeah.
on the wall, up on the wall, up on the wall. So we're going to be busy.
Good.
All
Busy.
right.
Good.
Somebody calling me from Saskatchewan.
Uh-oh.
Seriously, they must know I'm on the air.
Probably. Yeah. Send a message.
We'll, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
I should probably take calls on the air. Maybe they want to say something. Who knows?
Well, that's something we could look into. Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with our beautiful slideshow. We just need to start with number one. Um, let's see. All right, let me just take it back. And technology today. Wow, gee whiz, not things aren't cooperating. There we go.
There we go.
So today we're going to talk about self-worth. I called it the missing link. So
Mhm.
every day, right, Virginia, every day we have a chance to start over.
Yes.
And that's a great topic, starting over.
Mhm.
Virginia, how many times in your life have you had to start over? A new
Um,
job, a new baby, a marriage, a move. How many times?
well, just with my husband, he was in the oil field when I met him, and oh my goodness, I can't even count the amount of times we moved. Um, and just a new opportunity for him. So yeah, starting a new job for me so many times. But our last move, we made a promise that, okay, when our son starts school, we are not going to move. So he can stay in one space, have his friends and go through. So if you know about my childhood, we moved a lot when I was a kid, and I just grew to really dislike school. So that wasn't always, but now that I know about self-worth, as a child, you don't know. So yeah, we've been in our place now for 12 years.
Oh,
So
nice.
that stability that, our son has graduated now. So I said, now we can do whatever we want to do. We'll pack
Yeah,
up the truck and trailer and just go or something,
that's right.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
still young, you're still young enough to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So our beautiful Kathy Bell is here this morning. Good morning. We had a
Good
little late
morning,
start,
Kathy.
Kathy, but we're here.
We're
And
here.
I see we have other viewers, so let us know who you are so we can acknowledge you. And yeah, I've had to start over quite a few times, whether it was a move, which happened a lot when I was a child.
Yeah.
I've been married 3 times, so that was, starting over. I've had 3 major careers. So, but I look at every day as an opportunity. If I wanted to make a change, uh,
Mhm.
today's the opportunity to do that
Absolutely.
every day.
Every day.
And as far as staying alive, it's about breathing. As long as you have breath in your body, you're still alive. I know people who are breathing though, and I call them the walking dead, right?
Yeah.
They're alive, but they're not alive.
Life. Mhm.
They're not living, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So this is a little presentation that I put together quite a long time ago, and I upgrade it now and again. But I just really want to focus on the sense of urgency.
Mhm.
A friend of mine, her son died by suicide this past week. You know, because suicide doesn't know any boundaries,
Mhm.
and there's another starting over place. And how do we manage all that? Again, we talked about this last week, all that trauma, right? So it's hard. So now is the time to repair and restore our self-worth. Don't wait another day. Like, start the process. And how do we do that? Well, we wanted to just share a little bit about how we end up not having any self-worth
Mhm.
because we're actually born with it. What do you think?
Oh, I absolutely, I agree. We do understand, in those first few years of our lives shape us so much. And, if it's not a good start, as many of us have, yeah, it shapes the way we grow. It shapes the way we do things. It shapes the way we think, until we know that there's something better out there, or a different way for us to be able to thrive and survive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we are. We arrive and we're bigger than life when we land. And we have everything we need. Look at these gorgeous babies.
Mhm.
We come with everything that we need. And you can see it in these eyes of these little infants. And we all, unless you're a test tube baby or you're from another planet, we all got here the same way. We all got here when 2 people came together and a miracle happened. And here we are. And this is how we get started in life. But who am I?
Mhm.
Well, I'm beautiful when I land. I'm smart. I'm confident. I'm enthusiastic. You try to, a little kid just gets excited over every little thing. I know I have value because I often use the example, if a cute little girl came into the room, Virginia, and she was so beautiful, what would we say to her? We would say, you're beautiful and you're smart. And she'd go, I know,
Yep.
because they haven't been disconnected yet from their value.
Mhm.
I am a miracle when I'm born. To be, just to get here is a miracle. I'm a winner. I'm resilient. I'm non-judging. I'm cuddly. I'm cute. I'm precious. I'm loving. I'm a clean slate. There's that starting over, right? I'm a clean slate. But we can make every day a clean slate. And I am perfect.
Yeah.
I just get really agitated when people say, well, I'm only human and I'm not perfect. Yeah, you are. You are a divine creature
Mm.
of God, the universe. It's perfectionism, not
Mhm.
perfectionism, but perfection right there.
Yeah.
It's just our situations that aren't perfect,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
So when you first held Matt and you first looked at him, did you see all of this in him?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was a long, like, I was in labor with him for almost a week. So by the time he got
Oh.
there, I was pretty tired, but absolutely it was, yeah.
Hmm.
It was definitely a life-changing moment holding him in my arms.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? At some point in time, someone held us in their arms.
Mhm. Yes.
And here we were. We showed up and we were all these things,
Yes.
all these things. But where we land
Mm.
can be anywhere. You
Exactly.
and I could have been born up north in an Inuit community. We could have been born in Tennessee. We could have been born anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So, where we land can be anywhere. So, that could be any of these places. It could be tenement housing. It could be a mansion. It could be a trailer.
Right.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Even that little log cabin there. I bet some people landed there, right?
Mhm.
And then our family dynamics could be a variety of situations. Maybe we came from a larger family, a smaller family, a single mom. Maybe I'm the third child in a grouping. So families come in different packages, and I think
Mhm.
that's a lot of times. Let's talk about that because people have this idea that your family is your bloodline. What do you know about that?
Mm. No, family is, I think family are those who support you unconditionally. No judgment, no, um, anyone who is in your corner and, has got your back 100%. I have a beautiful friend who messages me and just says, "Hey, what can I pray for you today?" And you know what? It's genuine. And she absolutely would, I think she's part of my family. When we end our text messages, it's always love you.
Yeah.
So anyone, that unconditional love, that support, that encouragement, that empowerment is their family. That's your family.
Yes.
We don't, just because they say, family is blood, you owe them, you don't, that's not the way it works. If my family doesn't support me, I have beautiful friends who I call family that do support me. So
Hmm. Hmm.
absolutely. Mhm.
And sometimes our family doesn't know how to support us because they're too
Mm.
close. They have a
Exactly.
huge emotional investment in us.
Mhm.
So they can't really help us
Yeah,
sometimes when we really need that help.
yeah.
Okay, well, what's next? So
Mm.
I land. Look at this little guy. I land. I'm
Mm.
here.
Yeah.
And I am, people find fault with me when I say that. I am perfect. It's just my situations haven't always been perfect.
Exactly.
So we're going to look at some of those. So what can
Mhm.
happen to a little
Mm.
kid from the time they land until they're 5? Look at
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
So what we're looking at is loneliness, abandonment, abuse,
Abuse. Yeah,
um, lots of stuff can
yeah.
happen. And we've talked about this before, in many different ways about trauma. These
Mhm.
are all traumatic events that can happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
And what do these traumatic events do? They steal our sense of value.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And we've talked about this before, but I wanted the visuals today because sometimes the visuals, of course, you don't even have to talk that much. And then, of course, what can happen when we go to school?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
your kids come home crying and they're feeling like they're not part of their group. I mean, these are some things
Mhm.
that can happen to us between the ages of 6 and 13.
Yeah.
An
So
abusive an abusive teacher, maybe there's drugs and alcohol in the home, not being the one invited to the party. Over to you,
divorce
Virginia.
divorce, yeah. For me, like I had mentioned earlier, just moving all the time. I just,
Mm,
having to meet new people in a new school and I just got to the point for me where I didn't try anymore. So, when we got poor grades, we've got the peer pressure, the divorce in the family, drugs, or alcohol, stuff like that. So, absolutely, any of those things, if you don't have that those that what shall I say, those roots, that tree, that strong, that strength, someone has to be strong for you as a child because you just don't know how to do it.
right.
Yeah, you just don't
And
know how
we
to.
all crave that
Mhm.
stability, that
It's
sense of dependency, knowing that when I get home today, everything's going to be there.
everything's yeah.
And, even in my own life, I can remember coming home and my mom was busy packing the boxes. And, I'm going like, where are we going?
Mhm.
Right? Because we
I ha
never knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
One
would
day,
follow.
got on the bus from school, and this girl said, "You need to get off the bus with me." And I said, "Why?" "Yep, my parents had moved that day while I was
Oh,
in
wow.
school." Yeah,
And you didn't
didn't
know.
have a clue. No, I left from one house in the morning, arrived to another house in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wowzers. I know, hey?
Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, we go to high school.
Mm.
So, what can happen in high school?
Um,
Oh, my goodness sakes, lots of stuff.
yes.
So physical abuse. Maybe I get pregnant. Maybe I'm the boy that got her pregnant. Maybe I have a friend who's thinking about taking his own life. Car crashes, more smoking,
Mhm.
more bullying. Or this little gal down here covering up her bruises with makeup.
Bruises. Yeah.
Maybe I don't graduate.
Yeah.
So, no wonder by the end of high school, I'm not feeling that great about myself.
Yeah.
And now this is the time when I'm supposed to make my next big life decisions. So you have a son right smack in that
Mhm.
right now. What are you seeing without being non-confidential for Matt, but are you
Yeah.
experiencing he's trying to make decisions and not sure what he wants to do? And that's pretty
Well,
normal.
we had spoken before about him taking a gap year after school just to think about what he wants to do, and then I was diagnosed with cancer last December. So he's, had to grow up a little faster before he graduated because I needed help here. So,
Right.
I mean, that's another, thing that we could add on there is, illness in the family, stuff like that. So, yeah, he's still thinking about it, and we just support whatever decision he wants to do
Sure.
because he's only
It's
18.
it's his life,
It's his life. Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So now I have to ask
Mm,
myself at the end of my high school journey, do I still feel lovable? Do
yeah,
I feel beautiful? Do I still feel like a miracle? Do I feel special? Do I feel resilient? Do I feel precious? Do I feel I'm important? Do I feel cute and cuddly and lovable? Probably not.
probably not. No, no.
So now we're going to go out into the world and make big decisions through those veils of trauma.
Yeah.
Mhm. I made quite a few poor decisions myself. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. By this point in time, I think I was, definitely drinking.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely
Mhm.
drinking, so
And while you were busy drinking, I was busy trying to be a perfectionist and a control freak. And oh my gosh, those were my drugs. Looking
Absolutely.
perfect, perfectionism, you know.
Yeah.
These are all as damaging as drugs and alcohol. People don't realize,
No.
wow, the money and time I spent on those things,
Yeah.
we could go dollar for dollar, you and I.
Probably. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, look at this statistic. By the time I'm 3, I'm already making decisions about my value in my family. Am I important? Do I matter?
Yeah.
And my community. Remember that saying, it takes a village to bring up a child. But when
Mhm.
I was growing up as a child in the 50s, 1950s, and I was next 2 doors up stealing apples off the neighbor's tree, my mom knew all about it when I got home. Why? Because the neighbor phoned her and said,
Yeah.
Laurie's in the backyard, right?
Yeah, yeah, we had that. We had that too. I there was sometimes I came home from school, probably drank a little more. I used to drink in high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, the bus driver, yeah, I'm pretty sure she had one too many wobbly pops, he said. Right? Yeah, it absolutely. I mean, nobody ever said anything to me. My mom didn't say that to me until I was older and out of the house, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny that yeah, it definitely takes a village. Someone's got your back, I guess, in when we talk about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then we also felt safer because we knew 2
Mhm.
doors down, if something hit, trouble came or somebody was trying to pick us up, we could run into that house and be safe,
Exactly. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So it's from this place that I will make all my future decisions. My decision about my value, and you mentioned this earlier, Virginia, my self worth will impact everything,
Everything.
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 Who I pick for a partner, how I
Mhm.
take care of myself, how I manage or not my money, what I choose to do for a living.
Mhm.
Um, it impacts everything.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fitting in
Mhm.
becomes my first rule of engagement. I want to fit in. I want to be part of something. So this was a big one for me. I did a lot to seek the approval of others, wanting to please everyone in order to feel loved and accepted. Being unique and special is rarely promoted.
Mhm.
Be different. No, fit in.
Yeah.
Fit in. What's your take on that, Virginia?
I went the complete opposite. I just kind of
Yes.
wanted to disappear, I think, in my case, so, just not stand out, not yeah, I guess in that way, but I definitely it took some time for me to realize that being unique and special is, more important than fitting in.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, so now everything that's happened, all of those traumas along the way, all those setbacks, those losses have stolen my worthiness. Now, manifestations of low or no self worth begin to emerge. Well,
Yes.
what does that look like? What does that mean? And when you listen to people talk and the way they communicate, that's a pretty good indicator where somebody's self worth is.
Mhm.
And the way they receive compliments and the way that they put things down or they're negative, finding fault. You know,
Yeah.
there's lots and lots of ways. So let's have a look at those. So here we are. I
Mhm.
now begin to respond the only way I know how to all that has happened to handle the losses. So a lot of this comes from environment. So like you, for example, if you had alcohol in your home growing
Mhm.
up, you learned that that was a natural thing to do to soothe the soul, right?
Mm, yep, absolutely, yep.
Yeah. It's not inherited. It's not, it's just that learned behavior from the environment. So
Mhm.
drugs, alcohol, People pleasing. Oh, that was mine. Woo! Overachieving. Oh, yes, I had to be the best. I had to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Sadness and depression. I experienced that. Anxiety, worrying
Mm-hmm.
about the future,
Yeah.
worrying about the next appointment, the next person, the next impulsive. Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
I have to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Poor decision making. Chronic allergies and illness are a manifestation. Underachieving, in other words, not wanting to do anything.
Yep. That was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. No self confidence, poor
Confidence.
communication skills, never feeling good enough, whining, complaining, finding fault, suicidal thought, plan or action, fear, no trust, anger. These are
Absolutely.
all related and connected to no self worth.
Yes.
Do you know anybody operating there, Virginia?
Well, that used to be me. Absolutely.
That
I can.
was me.
There's quite a few on that list I can check off when when you look back and you realize how far you've come, and it's so empowering to know that I am not this person anymore. So empowering
Yeah.
to know that I don't need to go back to this list to survive and to thrive. But yeah, it can be overwhelming to look at.
Yeah.
But when you
Well,
have those tools to
mhm.
move forward, it's amazing. It's amazing.
There you go. You want to
Yeah.
work on that? Call the doc.
All
Call
the
us.
yeah.
Because we have support systems in place and workshops and material and knowledge and experience to make sure that you can cross off every single one of these things.
Absolutely.
Because remember, your high self-worth is already in you. It's already there.
Yeah.
It just got covered up like cobwebs.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right.
You know?
Exactly.
But when you're young and you're going through any situation, if you have nobody on your side to say, hey, you know what, there's a better way, or we can do things differently, then yeah, you're going to get lost in this list of the way we handle things. Yeah, it's sad, but it's such a huge reality that we need to face in order to be able to move forward and to thrive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So reclaiming my self-worth. We work in the area of repair, restoration, and reclaiming. In other
Mhm.
words, taking it back. We already have it. It was a birthright. So reclaiming my self-worth is nothing more than making the decision and then beginning the process of supporting my decision with new behaviors one step at a time.
Mhm.
I like the elephant. You can
Yeah.
eat an elephant one bite at a time. So, if I'm not feeling good enough, if I'm feeling depressed, there's things that we can do to
Mhm.
to work on that.
Yeah.
And I call it reclaiming my self-worth. We can actually do that process in 10 hours, 10 1-hour sessions. You can have your self-worth back.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very small investment, isn't it? 10 hours to get that all back.
It
It
is,
took you.
and it's so empowering to go through that process and to understand, when you understand those past traumas and those situations, how they shaped you, and you take that control back. It is the most empowering step you can take in your life, and it doesn't matter what age you are.
No.
That's the beauty of when you talk about it's already there and you just reclaim it. It does not matter how old you are, just taking that first step, one bite at a time. It's the most empowering thing you can do in your life.
Well, in our 32 years of this work and being in business doing this work, our
Mhm.
youngest client has been 6. Our eldest client has been 93.
There you go.
So never too late. to take control. So what does having high self-worth look like? Well, we just talked about what having low self-worth looks like. So what does it mean to have high self-worth? Virginia, do you want to share that list? Can you see
Mhm.
the list?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Healing and healed from past hurts and losses. No more abuse and disrespect. We have inner peace. We love ourselves and we forgive ourselves and we forgive others. We are open to learning new ways of doing things. We are caring, compassionate, giving. We become an effective communicator and we have healthy relationships instead of those unhealthy ones.
Now, who wouldn't want that in their life? Is there anybody watching this show today looking at this list and going, "Wow,
No,
I
thank you.
want that. I want
Yeah,
that."
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Well, it's not only a matter of wanting it, it's a matter of knowing that you deserve it.
deserve it.
See, when you're feeling you don't deserve something, that's low self-worth. I don't deserve to have a great relationship. I don't deserve good children. I don't deserve to have a high-paying job. I don't de- That's all low self-worth talk.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the way we talk to ourselves is reflective of where our self-worth is. Did you ever in the past, Virginia, while you were drinking, argue with yourself? Oh, I shouldn't have that drink. Oh, yeah, I should. There's
Yeah. Oh,
always like that internal
mhm.
conflict fighting.
It's still even as a, as a healing alcoholic, that it's still there when, you get hit with a sticky situation or another trauma comes along. It's your first internal dialogue. Absolutely. Just one.
Mhm.
I'll be okay with just one. And then, talking yourself out, just reminding of that list. I love myself. So why would I start drinking again? Just that I have healthy relationships with my husband and my son and my family. Why would I put myself in that situation again? So just reminding, for me, I had to remind myself of everything that I had to lose.
Oh,
Yeah. I
can you
have to.
talk more about that? Because I remember you saying that
Absolutely.
once in a workshop. That's so
Mhm.
powerful.
Yeah. We have to I have my little my note here, and yeah,
Okay, get it.
recovery has to come first so that everything that we love and have worked so hard for in our lives does not come last. Yeah.
That just gives me goosebumps when you say that.
Yeah, we have to. That's what I remind myself of. Just what I have to lose. And that list to me is far greater than the urge to drink.
Right.
Going over that list to me is far greater than, taking that first drink again. So, yeah, we're almost 5 years sober, so we're doing okay.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because when we met, you were just pretty much, stabilized and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also you are all of these things now.
Mhm.
So this is what
Absolutely.
else you would have to lose.
Yes. Yeah. Myself, though. This is who I am now. I would lose myself again. And it's, you know, my life is too precious to go back down that road. I mean, I spent, oh my goodness, almost 30 years drinking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, yeah,
Mhm.
it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me to go back down that dark hole when I have all these beautiful things in my life and I know who I am and who I'm meant to be, and that strength is, just keeping me going through anything that steps its ugly head in my way. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And also too, the other thing that happened for me when I started my journey, and I started to realize certain things about myself that were not supporting me,
Mhm.
I went, wow, but it's a lot of work. So,
Yes.
when you crawl out of that hole, you don't want to go back down there, because the next time it's even harder
Yeah,
and harder each
absolutely.
time. So you work hard to get it all back, and can't afford to lose it.
No, no.
So high self-worth or low self-worth, remember, we came with it. It's already in us. We don't have to go find it. But you know what happens when we lose our self-worth as a young person? Then we go outside of ourselves to try and find it. So it's a boyfriend, it's a new baby, it's a renovated kitchen, it's a new truck, it's an RV, it's a trip, it's this, it's that. And none of that ever satisfies or soothes the soul.
No.
Trying to fill that hole in there. So what will you decide? We get to choose.
We do
Do I
get
want to
this.
have high self-worth? Absolutely, because
Mhm.
Virginia and I are classic examples of how our self-worth saved our life.
Mhm.
And so it is a matter of life or death.
It is.
And we get to choose, because when our low self-worth is there, how many dangerous, risky decisions did we
Mhm.
make to put ourselves in danger, get ourselves killed even? It's all there.
It's all there.
It's
Mhm.
all there.
Yeah.
So it's a decision. So how can I participate? Well, we have lots of ways. Look at
Mhm.
this. These are
Yeah.
some of our most popular
Yes.
workshops. Our core empowerment workshop, that was our very first product. 40 workshops, 10 at a time. We have 100 workshops in prosperity and financial education. Responsible wellness, we have 40 workshops.
Yeah.
10 ways to build confident children. 10 ways to grow your business. 100 shades of entrepreneurship. Worthy Indigenous parenting. And we have people that have been trained to deliver these workshops. We
Mhm.
need to put them to work, because we got a lot of work to do. There we go. Reclaiming my self-worth retreat, creating a power couple, staying alive. We're going to do a big event April 5th and 6th.
Mhm.
Customized trauma-informed healing, career and home-based business opportunity, 100 shades of leadership. And Virginia and I do a workshop called Healthy Empowering Addictions Recovery.
Mhm.
This is just a very short list of the things that we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm really
Mhm.
proud of that. And I'm happy that we are able to share that.
Mhm.
So you can be part of our journey either as a customer, investing an hour a week in yourself. We don't put more than 6 people in a group. And we deliver educational workshops that have been designed to support us. You can become part of our team and deliver our workshops, own and
Mhm.
operate your own business. We just have so much going on.
Yeah.
Right, Virginia?
We do. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And on Monday night, we have our meeting, our gathering of anybody that wants to join, just to come and check us out. So it's all very doable. We've been doing it for years. You don't
Yeah.
need to suffer. So many people out there suffering. It just breaks my heart when
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Don't you?
It is, and when you become more informed as to what, learning about trauma and how it can affect, I mean, we know, we look at people a different way, instead of being judgy, you
Hmm.
you're wondering, okay, what happened that brought them to this point in life? What happened to them in their journey that brought them to this point where, maybe they are a bully, or maybe they, just talk negatively about themselves, anything like that. As a when you have that trauma informed thought process and you
Hmm.
understand, you look at people differently and you empathize with them, whereas before you would have been judgmental and probably hard on yourself too. But it's definitely a different way to look at things, and a different way to go about, just living your life. That inner peace is priceless, so priceless. I find nowadays, just to be able to sit down and be comfortable and be confident and be okay in my own skin again was a huge step. It's a big, big, empowering tool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm relating as you're talking about the judging because the old Laurie, if I was walking down the street and I saw a homeless person, I'd say to myself, why don't they just go get a job
Mhm.
and then everything will be okay? I had no idea
Yeah,
that that bag lady wheeling that grocery cart around town had a similar childhood trauma that I had. Maybe she was sexually assaulted.
right?
Maybe she moved around.
Yeah.
Maybe there was no mom. I didn't know that. I didn't even connect to that. And I thought a victim was somebody in a car accident. That's how narrow my view of life was. I lived in a box.
Mhm.
I lived in this little box, not wanting to venture outside that box
Yep.
because that's all I knew. And wow. And then my box became a classroom. That's the career I chose. Well,
Yeah.
sure. Because as a teacher, I had lots of control.
Yeah,
I could control that.
absolutely.
And 15 years later, I'm looking at that box and I'm going, is this all there is?
Yeah.
I can't imagine if I had stayed for 40 years, all the people that I wouldn't have met. I would never have met you, all the places I never would have traveled,
Yeah.
all the people that I never would have worked with or did business with. Wow.
Big list.
Big list,
Yeah, big
right?
list. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. Because many years ago, Virginia, I realized three things about most people. And whether that was a student in my classroom, a beauty consultant on my sales team, or even now with my self worth clients and friends,
Mhm.
most people are walking around feeling like there's something wrong with them.
Mhm.
Well, that's the low self worth.
Yeah.
Number two, they lack confidence. They don't want to try anything new. Heaven forbid I might start the journey of self-discovery
Yeah.
and realize you're the best
Yeah.
thing you ever studied, right?
Mhm.
And the third thing, poor communication skills.
Mhm.
So we work on those three things. That's all we do is help people with those three things. Because when those three things are all working together, you can do anything. You can
Absolutely.
be anything.
Yes.
You can make anything happen.
Yep.
Like cure yourself of cancer and call a doctor down to operate and get that thing fixed so I can get on with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get
For
moving.
sure, for sure. All right. Well, we have about 9 minutes or so. So what
Yeah.
are we going to talk about next? Well, I guess what we need to say to her, what's the most important message today, Virginia, about your self-worth?
Just taking that first step and realizing that you are worthy. You are worthy.
Mhm.
And everybody has to believe that you are worthy. You're worthy of, the new job, the new car, anything. You're worthy to heal. You're
Oh,
worthy to forgive. You're worthy to be forgiven. We all have stuff in our past that, we may not um be so proud of, shall I say? But you know
mhm.
what? You forgive yourself for that because you didn't know any better. When you know better and you continue on, that's different. You're continuing down that low self-worth path. But when you have high self-worth, it doesn't matter what your past was. You think about who you are now and what your future is going to be. And that's all that matters. Your past was just a learning experience, and your future is bright. Like, it's beautiful. It's healthy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what brings the inner peace,
Mhm.
is not having to worry about anything.
Yeah.
People spend their lives worrying about what other people think of them or what other people are going to say about them. I was like classic
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
And then I became a people pleaser. My parents, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I had a mentor say to me when I was 45, "When are you going to stop seeking the approval of your parents?" I didn't even know I was doing that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we all want that approval and we'll
Mhm.
do anything to get it. And oh my gosh, when I think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, mine used to be my dad, "What are you, too good to drink with the old man?"
Oh,
Yes. Those lines, and, learning that, yeah, actually, I am, but,
yeah.
you know, thinking it and saying it are 2 entirely different things, when you are in that path and you're in low self-esteem, trying to seek that approval, yeah, you'll do anything to get that approval until you realize this person doesn't even care about themselves. And
Right.
when you realize that, it's an eye opener. It's, empowering to understand I can say no and it's okay. The world is not going to fall apart if Virginia says no.
Exactly.
And it's a huge step to take to go and set up those boundaries and be okay with those boundaries and not have that nagging guilt. That nagging guilt, again, low self-esteem is you think you're doing something wrong. And when you have that inner peace and you're okay with, speaking your truth and living who you genuinely are, it's just it like I said before, it's so priceless just to go each day by day and have that inner peace in your life and that self-worth to get through anything life throws at you. You had touched on cancer. Both of us are cancer survivors. Anything, when you have people say to you, "Oh, that mindset is why you're gonna thrive and why you're gonna succeed." People see that. They see it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, Kathy's asking a question, but we don't really
Yeah.
have time to get into it. She asked
Right.
a question. What trauma did your dad have to cause him to drink? Well, you may not want to share that. So we're
Mhm.
just going to leave that at that. That's very personal. And if
Yes.
Kathy and you want to talk about
Yep.
that, that's great because we don't always know.
Uh, uh,
You know,
in
we
my
don't
case, I
always.
do. I do know.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot, so yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Dr. Ramin Modiri. We'll see what happens with regards to what he wants to offer us up tomorrow. And
Mhm.
then he arrives in Canada on Wednesday night. We're going to be talking to him. He's going to be with us for 10 days. So we'll be traveling around, visiting people, hooking up for
Yes.
coffee, doing lunch, whatever we can do to make sure he meets and greets everybody that we have here as team members. So we're very excited about his trip.
Mhm.
And I guess that's pretty much it. We're supposed to get some snow shortly. So,
'Tis the season.
yeah, I get out the
'Tis the
mucklucks
season. Yeah.
and I'm having a hard time right now going into the stores and there's Halloween stuff on one side and then there's Christmas on the
Christmas
other.
on the other.
And I was thinking of I'll buy the witch costume and wear it Christmas Day.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Right?
it is. I know they get a little excited, I think, this time of year.
Yeah, you betcha. You
Yeah.
betcha. All right. Well, just remember we're streaming live on the Laurie Davis Facebook page. We're also
Mhm.
streaming live on our two of my YouTube channels, Laurie Davis Show Host, and also 5 Minutes to No Limits. So I apologize for a little harshness in my voice today, but it is early. It's first thing Monday and haven't done a lot of talking. So just getting into shape on Monday morning, right, Virginia?
Mhm. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's our show for today. And if I can actually find my exit, which is something that I was having a problem with, it's just
That's Monday. That's
that's
Monday.
Monday,
That's
right?
Monday. We just go
Yeah,
with the flow. When
yeah.
you have high self-worth, stuff like that doesn't bother you at all.
We don't even care.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we're done. So here we are. Bye for now.
Have a
Talk
beautiful day.
soon.